Good afternoon. The February 6, 2025 regular board meeting of the City Colleges of Chicago is now called to order. Please join me in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Will the Chief Advisor please call the roll?
Chair Nukas,
Here.
Vice Chair Hatch,
Here.
Trustee Sanchez. He is here. I'll call him again. Trustee Hightower. Here. Student Trustee Ramirez.
Here.
We have a quorum. We can start still. What do you say?
Let the record show that in accordance with the Illinois Public Community College Act and the Illinois Open Meetings Act, we do have a quorum. I would like to divert from the standard order of proceedings and ask for consideration of Resolution 1.09, the election of officer or secretary of the board. Now, with leave of the body, I'd like to take item 1.09 out of order. Section 1.4.2 of our board bylaws calls for an annual election to fill the offices of secretary. I would like to nominate Reverend Dr. Marshall Hatch Sr. to serve as the secretary. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, is there a second on the nomination as proposed?
Second.
Thank you. The motion having been properly made and seconded and receiving no additional nominations, I hereby declare the nominations closed. I move for the approval of Resolution 1.09. Is there a second?
Second.
I would now ask the Chief Advisor to call the roll on Resolution 1.09.
Chair Nukas,
Approve.
Vice Chair Hatch,
Approved.
Trustee Sanchez. He's not here. Trustee Hightower. Trustee Ramirez.
Approved. Thank you. Let the record reflect the election of Secretary of the Board and Resolution 1.09 has been approved. Thank you all. Good afternoon to everyone. Happy New Year and welcome to the first regular board meeting of 2025. I would like to thank Daly College President Janoski for hosting the Board of Trustees meeting this month. Thank you so much. On behalf of the board, I would like to extend a warm and wholehearted welcome back to our students and faculty. I know we all look forward to seeing what is ahead in this new year. February is Black History Month. This month and throughout the year, we acknowledge the many contributions the Black community has made in medicine, entrepreneurship, civil rights, the arts, Nobel laureates, and others to the United States and to the world. For the record, due to FC4 President's work schedule, they will not be attending the meeting today. I will close by again wishing all of our faculty, staff, and students a strong start to a new year and a new term. That concludes my remarks for today. Student Trustee David Ramirez, please proceed with your report.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy New Year and Black History Month. So given that the semester is still in its early stages, the rescheduled DSGA meeting this past Friday, which focused on Advocacy Day, many of the SGAs are still finalizing event planning and coordinating e-board meetings if they have not done so already. The SGA monthly reports were not turned in for this board meeting. DSGA update is that Advocacy Day has been moved to April 9th as confirmed by ICCB-SAC. The next DSGA meeting will be held in person, hosted by Kennedy King on February 21st. Sorry about that. ICCB-SAC met on January 17th at Heartland Community College to discuss Advocacy Day, which was on April 9th. The chosen topics of advocacy include mental health, state budgeting and resources, applied baccalaureate programs in limited fields of study, focusing on fields with acute workforce needs and in underserved communities, and the state budget shortfall for the community college system. The next ICCB-SAC meeting will be held virtually on February 14th. Esteemed board members, college presidents, and officers of the district, as we face significant changes on a national level, shifting policies, evolving administration, and the uncertainty that accompanies such transitions, our students are the ones who will bear the brunt of these challenges. It is in these times like these that we must remain a steadfast pillar of support, offering not only educational opportunities, but a sense of security and stability for our students. The work we do here goes beyond academics. It impacts lives, futures, and entire communities. Our students, many of whom come from underrepresented backgrounds or face personal and financial challenges, are particularly vulnerable to the ripple effects of broader societal changes. The policies and decisions made at the national level can have real and tangible consequences on their access to education, their mental well-being, and their future prospects. We cannot allow external uncertainties to diminish the quality and accessibility of the education that we provide. That is why I call to reinforce our commitment to supporting our students now more than ever. We must ensure that our programs and resources continue to meet their evolving needs. From financial aid support to mental health resources to ensuring access to technology and tutoring services, we must stand ready to adapt and be a reliable foundation for every student that walks through our doors. This is not just about weathering the storm, it's about leading with purpose and ensuring our students have a clear path forward and reinforcing the values that make our institutions a lifeline for many. We have a unique opportunity to be the constant that our students can count on, regardless of the changes happening beyond these walls. I urge each of you to consider the impact of every decision made within every meeting, even after my term, and to prioritize the needs of our students as we move forward. Together, we can continue to be a beacon of hope, resilience, and opportunity in a world that is constantly shifting. Our collective effort today will shape the future of those who trust in us to guide them through these challenging times. As Martin Luther King Jr. said, the time is always right to do what is right. I look forward to working with you all this semester. Thank you. This concludes my student trustee report.
Thank you, Student Trustee Ramirez. We're gonna have to go back to voting on the resolution 1.09 now that Trustee Sanchez is here. So we're going to ask the chief advisor to call the roll on resolution 1.09.
Okay. We'll call for a motion
I'll put in a motion.
in a second.
Do I have? Oh,
You'll call for a motion in a second. Okay.
okay, chief advisor, you may call the roll now.
Okay, thank you. Chair Newquist,
Approved.
Trustee Sanchez,
Approved.
Trustee Hightower. Approved. Student Trustee Ramirez.
Approved.
Thank you. Let the record reflect the election of Secretary of the Board and Resolution 1.09 has been approved. Chancellor Salgado is unable to attend today's meeting, so Provost Potter will give remarks. Please proceed, Provost.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Chair. And thank you also to President Janoski and the Daily team for hosting us here today in this impressive state-of-the-art facility. As the Chair just mentioned, the Chancellor is away on important business on behalf of City Colleges, accompanying University of Illinois and state leaders on a visit to a critical potential employer partner. So before I get into the remarks that I'm going to deliver on his behalf, I would like to ask the president and her team to take a few minutes to share a bit about the college for the benefit of the trustees and all of us here today. President?
Absolutely. Well, thank you for the opportunity. Chair Nukas, Vice Chair Hatch, and all the members of the board, Provost Potter, City College's presidents, Office of the District, faculty, staff, students, and community members. Welcome to Richard J. Daley College. Daley College empowers our diverse community to achieve their goals through innovative education and programming in a supportive, inclusive, and equitable environment for lifelong learning. We strive to meet the needs of our community through multiple entry points and provides accessible educational opportunities. We're the City Colleges of Chicago Center of Excellence in Engineering and Advanced Manufacturing, and we are pleased that you have chosen to meet today in our, what as we refer to, MTech. This is a state-of-the-art 62,000 square foot LEED certified building with newly enhanced defined academics and training pathways, where we seek to integrate students directly into the workforce. Since we opened MTech in 2019, more than 1,200 students have enrolled in our manufacturing program through credit programs, 400 through continuing education, and currently 250 are enrolled this semester. A few of the other recent accolades for MTech include our Manufacturing Engineering Technology program earned the National Institute of Metalworking Skills site accreditation. Daley was chosen out of only 25 community colleges for the Society of Manufacturing Engineering Manufacturing Imperative. We earned the 29th Annual Chicago Neighborhood Development Award for the architect who designed this building, and were the recipient of the 2024 MHUB's Fourth Revolution Community Empowerment Award. This award recognizes our work in diversity, equity, and inclusion. In addition to advanced manufacturing, we're a proud Hispanic serving institution. We offer a variety of programs to serve over 10,000 students. That's per year, with academic classes and programmings at our main campus here, where you are, and our satellite campus at Arturo Velázquez Institute. As a proud Hispanic-serving institution, we have a diverse student body, which is reflective of the overall Southwest Chicago community. The demographics of the student body remains consistent for the most recent 3 years. 81% identify as Latino, 10% identify as African American. Over 78 countries of origin are represented in our rich multicultural learning community, with the top 3 countries being Mexico, Colombia, and Venezuela. We're intentionally working to develop a culture focused on serving and supporting Latino students, and by extension, all students. In 2023, we earned the prestigious Seal of Excelencia. To give you a context, there are about 500 Hispanic-serving institutions in the United States. The Seal of Excelencia has been earned by less than 50 of them, and Daley College is one of those. We offer multiple associate degrees. We offer early college program, and we have one of the highest enrollment in city colleges. Our adult education program offers free courses to prepare for a high school diploma, but we offer it in English and in Spanish, as well as English as a second language, and our non-credit continuing ed offers are for adults and children. So let me just take a few minutes and talk about our satellite campus. Arturo Velázquez Institute, we offer general education, applied science, adult education, as well as continuing ed. But there's something unique that AVI houses that isn't within city colleges, with the exception of AVI. It houses a Center for Immigrant Integration, including our Chicago Welcome Back Center. The Chicago Welcome Back Center is a national network of programs designed to assist foreign credentials individuals in re-entering their career by earning national and state credentials. Our Welcome Back Center has been recognized through national awards. Daly College at AVI also houses the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, or IBEW, and a horticulture program held in conjunction with Windy City Harvest, Chicago Botanical Gardens. I could go on and on with our national, state, and local accolades, but I'll just highlight a few. The After 22 program supports access to higher education and employment training for individuals with intellectual disabilities. 2024, our first cohort graduated with a 90% completion rate. Weekend Warriors program in participation with the Inter-Muslim Action Network. We lead a violence reduction program for justice-involved individuals based on a CTE training and supported by Holistic Student Services. To date, 140 graduates have completed that program. I did speak about the Seal of Excellencia, but I'll also tell you that one of our programs have been recognized as a Seal Excellencia example, and that's our community health worker program. And Daly was recognized by the U.S. Department of Education as one of 200, and there were only 100 community colleges in that 200, as institutions eligible for post-secondary success recognition program. This uplifts colleges that promote social mobility through equitable access to education. If we look at our institutional metrics, every one of those have raised substantially, many of them twofold or threefold since fiscal year 21. But the success of Daly College is driven by our faculty, staff, students, and community members. Each of the members of the Daly College community serves a unique role in our community. We celebrate each of them. I would like to share each of the 10,000 stories from our students. However, I'll just share a few. So Daly graduate David Lopez was selected to represent all community colleges in Illinois as a Lincoln Academy of Illinois student laureate. Daly student Louise Corral was selected for the Mary T. Washington Wiley Internship Preparation Program. Daly student and student trustee David Ramirez was appointed chair of the Illinois Community College Board Student Advisory Committee. Now, let me move on to the 9,997 more stories. I'm sure I have time that I could do it. But this year we celebrate our 65th anniversary. So just think about all that have been educated and all that have been trained for the workforce at Daly College over 65 years. So we express gratitude to all of you who have been a member of our community, and we look to the future with more to come. We are honored that the board meeting is here today, and I'd like to introduce many faculty, staff, and students from Daly who are here present today. If you would stand up or wave and say hi to the board. And our students are incredibly creative. And when I told them that you were coming here, they decided they want to make a welcome video. So we have a very short video that was created and made by our students, welcome you all to Daly College, and it's focused on what they describe as their student experience here. So if we could watch the video, please.
Welcome to Richard J. Daly College.
Bienvenidos a Richard J. Daly College. 欢迎来到 Richard J. Daly College. Bienvenidos a Richard Daly. مرحبا بكم في Richard Daly College.
Welcome to Daly College. Welcome.
Bienvenidos. 欢迎来到 مرحبا بكم. Welcome.
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 Thank you, President. That's impressive work at the college, and it's great to see the video with the students enjoying community here at Daly College. So as we've heard, February is Black History Month. And among the activities we have planned this month to mark the occasion, the City Colleges of Chicago Foundation will hold its Celebrating Black Learner Excellence Luncheon on February 13th at Malcolm X College. This event raises funds to support our Black Learner agenda that is already helping us deliver robust and growing student supports and is resulting in increases in Black student enrollment, retention, and four-year student outcomes. A few distinguished leaders will be honored at the luncheon, including our very own Malcolm X College Dean of Nursing, Tammy Scott Brand, who will receive the Educator Excellence in Equity Award. Congratulations to Dean Scott Brand. Today, the board will consider a resolution honoring former president of Malcolm X College, Gano Brooks, who recently passed. Former President Brooks' dedicated career in administration at city colleges spanned more than 30 years. On behalf of the Chancellor, we want to thank President Sanders for having shared our sincere condolences with the Brooks family. And President Sanders, will you please present Resolution 1.10 to the board?
Thank you. Whereas city colleges and Malcolm X College community mourn the passing of former Malcolm X College President Gingo Brooks, whose dedication and tireless service to our community college system spanned over 3 decades, impacting the lives of countless students, faculty, and staff. And whereas Gingo Brooks commenced his journey with City Colleges of Chicago in 1978, bringing with him a passion for education and a commitment to fostering student success. And whereas during his distinguished career, Mr. Brooks assumed various leadership roles, including Vice President of Instruction and Student Development, and Vice President of Student Services and Enrollment Management, in which he focused on enhancing educational offerings and improving the student experience. And whereas his promotion to Vice President of Academic Affairs in 2006 marked a significant milestone in his career, allowing him to further guide academic policies, curriculum development, and faculty support. And whereas Mr. Brooks demonstrated his commitment to the college, stepping in as interim president in 2008. And whereas in 2009, Mr. Brooks was officially promoted to president, a position from which he championed academic excellence, inclusivity, and community engagement, ensuring that Malcolm X College remained a vital source for education and opportunity. And whereas Gingo Brooks retired in 2012, leaving behind a legacy of integrity, compassion, and an enduring commitment to education. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the City Colleges of Chicago and Malcolm X College community, recognize and honor the profound impact of Gingo Brooks' life and career. His visionary leadership, unwavering dedication, and passionate advocacy for student success continue to resonate within our educational community, and be it further resolved that this resolution be stored in the archives of Malcolm X College, and that a copy was already presented to his family as a tribute to his significant contributions and lasting legacy at Malcolm X College. If you give a hand to President Gingo Brooks.
I need a motion to adopt the resolution.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. Chief Advisor, may you please call the roll? Chief Advisor, may you please call the roll?
Just a second, please. Chair Newquist,
Approved.
Vice Chair Hatch,
Approved.
Trustee Sanchez,
Approve.
Trustee Hightower,
Approved.
Student Trustee Ramirez.
Approved.
Thank you, Board, and thank you, President Sanders, for that resolution. As you heard earlier in the committee presentation, the Board will consider a modest tuition increase today. Last year, after not raising tuition for 8 years, City Colleges increased the cost of a credit hour by $7 and recommended that future tuition adjustments be considered on an annual basis. Consistent with that approach, City Colleges proposes a modest tuition increase of $4 per credit hour for fiscal year 2026. The impact to full-time students who are enrolled in 12 credit hours would be a semester increase of $48 or an annual increase of $96. This adjustment will allow for continued investment in student services and supports and ensure that City Colleges is prepared for anticipated rising costs and potentially fewer state resources. This increase is being proposed to take effect April 7th, which aligns with the beginning of registration for our year-long schedule of classes. And just like last year, students who register by June 29th would receive a discount on classes they've registered for and would be charged at the current fiscal year 25 tuition rate. I was privileged to join Chancellor Salgado, Chief of Staff Herrero, President Webb Walker, Chair Nukas, Dean Mido, and many others to mark the opening of Kennedy King College's Sequoia restaurant last week. Sequoia is Inglewood's premier white tablecloth and fine dining establishment. The food and service, of course, were excellent. As you might have seen on the news, because we did get great coverage of the event, you can now get a 3-course lunch at Sequoia for $15. It's a high-quality 3-course lunch. And if you want a drink, not non-alcoholic, but a drink, along with that, it's an extra $2. So a total of $17 for beverage and a 3-course meal. It's quite something to experience. And you'll be supporting our students in the process. But be sure to call ahead for reservations, as I believe they're required. And it's worth it, though. It's already a popular spot. And they're open Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays for lunch service. So take advantage. More good news. Congratulations are in order for a few of our team members here at City Colleges, and I want to call out Siobhan Taylor Booker, who was named a Woman of Excellence by the Chicago Defender. Congratulations, Siobhan. Senior Dean of Adult Education at Olive Harvey and Truman Colleges, Dr. Lee Jackson, has been selected to participate in the prestigious Minority Serving Institutions Aspiring Leaders Program through Rutgers University. So congratulations to Lee. And staying with the adult education team, Director of Compliance in Adult Education, Kenneth Balcarcel, who was selected as a 2025 Civic Leadership Academy Fellow by the University of Chicago's Center for Effective Government. And there's more, and he was actually selected to receive a full scholarship to cover the costs of the program. So congratulations for all, and that does bring my remarks to a conclusion for this afternoon. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Provost Potter. Now we have 10 requests for public participation today. When your name is called, please proceed to the podium where you will have up to 3 minutes to make remarks on the subject that you have indicated in your communication to the board office. The chief advisor will notify you when you've used the 3 minutes of your time, and we ask that you kindly bring your remarks to a close. As you register, you were reminded of our procedures with regards to the nature of your comments, and I would ask you to respect and adhere to that direction and the time requirement. Chief Advisor, please proceed with the speakers.
Thank you. Rochelle Robinson Dukes.
Good afternoon. I didn't know if I was going to be able to do this because had a little altercation back on Election Day, but I thought I would dip my toe in the water of public speaking again. I'm Dr. Rochelle Robinson Dukes, Vice President for Local 1600 and an English professor at Olive Harvey College. I love Chicago. I was born here, went to high school with Whitney Young, went to grad school at DePaul. Chicago is my kind of town because everything about Chicago I've been to. But Chicago ain't safe, y'all. Chicago is not safe, and it is turning into Baltimore. And the people who protect us are people who are in law enforcement. And our law enforcement at City Colleges protects all of the buildings that we have to the best of their capabilities. And I just want to first give them a round of applause. They are here in red. As an educator, I know that my place of employment is vulnerable because we have an open door policy. And that means that our students who face challenges, food insecurity, housing insecurity, just getting here, managing children, managing work, sometimes we get people who just walk off the street downtown here in Washington because the door is open. And our first line of defense are the men and women who put their lives on the line to keep us safe. They walk us to our cars. They make sure that the offices, the doors are open. They handle disruptive people, and there are disruptive people walking around Chicago right now. And we need to be more mindful and give more respect to our officers. They protect us, the students, and the buildings. Everyone at City Colleges pretty much gets holidays, 10 holidays. The administrations get holidays, faculty gets holidays, professionals get holidays. Security do not get all the holidays. They get 2. We want to provide parity to this bargaining unit. They deserve more because they do more. And I want you to think about that as we go forward and continue bargaining in good faith for our contract, for our hard-working, dedicated security men and women. Thank you for coming out today and showing everybody that you are devoted to us having parity in this bargaining unit. I think next is probably going to be the man in charge.
Thank you. Tony Johnston.
Madam Chair, members of the board, and officers of the district, good afternoon. My name is Tony Johnston, and I'm the president of Cook County College Teachers Union. We represent full-time faculty, full and part-time professionals, and security in the city colleges. I'm here today speaking in support of our security officers and assistants. Our previous contract began in January 2020. Soon after that, the pandemic hit, inflation soared to 8%, and while the inflation rate has gone down, consumer prices and the cost of living has not, which means our security personnel's earning income crashed and has not recovered. You designated security personnel as essential employees. They were required to work in person and do their job in the vulnerable atmosphere of the rise of COVID and were on the front line of pandemic protocols. They did their jobs admirably and unwaveringly as they continue to do. These last 4 years have been crippling for them, and now it's time for them to recover. If not all that's been lost, set them on a foundation to thrive and with comparable salaries that their counterparts at other community colleges and public education institutions have. We've been in negotiations with your team for a little over 2 months. We are at a point where all the proposals have been submitted and responses heard, and we are disturbed at what seems to be the total indifference of your team to engage with us on our legitimate and substantive demands. They have rejected almost all of our proposals, and their salary proposal on the table is an insult to our members. A few of our proposals deal directly with the safety and security of our colleges, students, employees, and community, something that we are all concerned with. We want to address vital issues of staffing, equipment, and training to make our city colleges as safe as they can be. Your team claims these are issues that don't concern us, that they fall under management's rights. We disagree. We believe our security officers and assistants, with their years of experience and training in law enforcement, are the perfect partners to be discussing these matters because they are on the front lines and they are in the trenches every day.
You have 30 seconds.
They understand what makes our colleges vulnerable and want to be part of the solution. You are going to hear from our security officers. Please listen carefully to what they have to say. Along with us, Clock adjuncts and AFSCME adult educators are also at the negotiating table for much longer than we have. It is unconscionable to keep these units
Your time is up.
struggling at the negotiating table. We have our next negotiating session tomorrow. It is our hope that we will shift into a new phase of bargaining in earnest and collaboration. The safety and the security of the city colleges depends on it. Thank you.
Ore Jones. Ore Jones.
Good afternoon. Greetings to our distinguished City College Board members. I would like to thank you for your service. Also to the Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, Provost, City College Presidents, as well as all administrators, managers present. Thank you for allowing me a few minutes to talk about City College safety and security. My name is Ore Jones. I've worked at City Colleges for over 12 years, in the beginning as a part-time security officer, while I was the deputy chief and assistant director or the assistant director for a Circuit Court of Cook County Probation Department, managing field operations and community engagement for the entire county, to name a few. Also, I have served as an assistant director, part-time, interim director of security for city colleges. I'm currently a lead officer at Dawson Tech. I would like to respectfully and briefly bring to your attention just a few safety and security concerns. What I hope to appeal to your thought process is the importance and relevance of having a well-trained and prepared security team at each of your colleges. I emphasize the word security team because although security staff performs various duties and tasks, ultimately, administrators, faculty, and staff perform or serve in various roles in an all-hazards emergency plan, especially in emergency protocols such as active shooter, fire, disturbance or demonstration, violent or criminal behavior, bomb threat and suspicious items, utility failure, and spillage of hazardous chemicals. Of course, City Colleges, I must say, has a very thorough manual outlining and addressing all the above items that I've mentioned and more. It's even a training matrix outlining how emergency drills and exercises, when exercises should occur. So some of my colleagues will speak specifically to a few of these things I mentioned. I am here to discuss the importance of having a well-trained and knowledgeable security team at your college. Thus, security is currently undergoing the process of negotiating a new contract with management. Therefore, I'm appealing to you that a fair salary is needed to retain and hire more qualified security team members. The current salaries for lead officers, security officers, and security assistants are far below the average salary of their city counterparts, agencies, and colleges across the state.
You have 30 seconds left.
During the last contract, specifically with COVID, security members have fell well below a reasonable and fair salary. Please consider some of these things. As employees for city colleges, I'm aware that the first contract when entering a campus or a campus building is security. Remember that we can encounter all types of incidents and we must be prepared. Thank you.
Patricia Dwyer. Patricia Dwyer.
Hello, everybody. My name is Patricia Dwyer, and I'm a lead security officer at Wilbur Wright College. It's located at Montrose in Narragansett. Wright has another campus located at 1645 North California in Humboldt Park. Prior to working at Wright College, I worked for the Chicago Police Department for 28 years. I had many jobs. The last 18 years of my career was a violent crimes detective, investigating sex crimes. My skill set includes interviewing methods, crisis intervention, and de-escalating techniques. For those who are not familiar with Wright College, there are 4 buildings that are connected, what we call the campus center. In the middle of the campus center is a 3-sided counter where a member security team is located to assist students, faculty and staff, and anyone who may enter the building, being that Wright College is an open campus and anyone and everyone can enter. Our main purpose of security staff is to keep students, faculty, administration, and staff safe. Security is oftentimes the first contact students have with coming into college. That engagement may include asking for directions, addressing a problem, or asking for advice. Our duties also include escorting anyone to their cars or bus stop when they feel threatened or unsafe. According to the Education Week, there have been 223 school shootings since 2018, where at least one person was killed or injured. Those numbers can't be ignored. Wright College is a fishbowl, meaning that the main floor is floor-to-ceiling windows, and the students, faculty, administration, and staff are the fish. So how do we make everyone safer who is in this, our college and all the other city colleges? To do this, we need more training for everything from natural disasters to fires to active shooters. We need more cameras to monitor areas like stairways and certain parking lots that are unmonitored. We especially need more security staff so that every entrance, every floor, parking facility is monitored and secure. In this day and age, we can no longer ignore the safety challenges that schools are facing. And how do we get more experienced and qualified security officers
You have 30
and security
seconds left.
assistants? Security staff need to be paid a competitive wage consistent with other security positions and to be provided with other benefits that other college employees are given. All security staff and all city colleges take their responsibilities very seriously. We respectfully request that the board show the city college security staff that we are valued employees and give them the necessary tools and compensation to continue to keep the students, staff, and faculty and administration safe in this unpredictable environment. Thank you for your consideration.
George Rondanis.
Hi, welcome to Daly, where I've worked for 25, maybe a little bit more years. Board, Potter, how are you, Provost? I was writing last night around 1 o'clock in the morning, what I was going to say to the board, and I really wanted to sound like you, but it was not happening for that's my dream. I want to sound like Mark Potter and dress like Son Jackson. And drive like President Zanowski. It's not working for me yet, especially since there are no full-time jobs for adult educators, no matter how many hours we work a week. I'm here to stand in solidarity with our unit, the adult educators of the City College of Chicago. We've been in negotiations for 2 years, and we hope that the light at the end of the tunnel is not a train coming at us. Also to stand in solidarity with our brothers and sisters in security and, of course, the adjunct professors. One of the biggest challenges we have as workers here for the city colleges is that often the administration, especially the legal department, plays games trying to divide the same people who need to work together every day to deliver the services to our students and our communities. And I think the board should have a conversation about these practices. Do you want the people who work for you divided or working together? I saw the members of the board take their oath in front of the elder people in the Education Committee. I'm glad to see that you're still here. We're coming to you today to bring to your attention that in the last 2 years, we have made serious compromises in our proposals. Proposals that we think that are essential, not for us to be able to support our families and our students, but just for our program to continue to exist successfully. One of the sticking points is seniority. Pretty much the City Colleges of Chicago, what they want to do is they want to offer seniority to some people and not to offer seniority to other people. So I look at the data. About 80 of our members who teach at Malcolm X primarily, AVI, Kennedy King, Olive Harvey. You get what all this has in common, right? They're the places with our students most in need will not get seniority. Let me give you a specific example of how this translates.
You have 30 seconds left.
In my life. I had a grievance the other day. One of our professors from Kennedy King, he was teaching 24 hours. His dean, in her wisdom, stripped him without any warning from 20 of these hours, took his hours and somebody else's hours, and gave a brand new teacher 40 hours. The maximum we can teach is 24. Our current contract has vagueness enough, supposedly for the administration's legal department, to be able to do this atrocity. That you can strip somebody who has been working for you for decades from their livelihood, get them down to $160 a week. Try to feed your family on $160 a week. And get somebody from the street and give them 40 hours of work. That's unacceptable. That's what we're dealing with. And that's what the administration wants to do. They want to deny seniority to the people in the colleges who need it the most. And if you're a president in one of these colleges,
Your time is
better
up.
have a conversation with this administration.
Your time is up.
I want to say one more thing, and I'll give you your floor. When you took your oath, the chair of the Educational Committee made a final statement to you. She made a request. She said, you're there to stand for the people and to keep this administration loyal to their duties, to the people they serve and the teachers. We hope you'll do it because that's your task. That's why you took that oath. Thank you very much.
Charles Alat. Sorry, Carlos Alat.
Good afternoon, distinguished members of the board, trustees. I am Carlos Aulet, the Vice President of ASME 3506, a seasoned educator and former law enforcement officer, including Vietnam combat service, with decades of service. And I stand before you with a clear and unwavering judgment on our current situation. Our collective bargaining agreement, a contract directly between this board and our union of adult educators, is being systematically misapplied. This failure is not merely an administrative oversight. It reflects a deep leadership lapse on your part. Because Juan Salgado and his bullies work for you, and you are here to represent the people of Chicago. By obstructing the negotiations of a fair new contract through maneuvers and games, you have compromised the very framework meant to protect our educators and, by extension, the vulnerable populations they serve. Let us be unequivocal. Our immigrant and African-American students and teachers face discrimination every day. They are subject to policies that marginalize them, marginalize their needs, while resources flow to the privileged insiders and enclaves. As a matter of fact, often I wonder if the purpose of this program and the almost $6 million you got from ICCB last year is to serve our students or just pay legal fees and exaggerated legal salaries. The continued disregard for genuine productive negotiations has relegated our union to second-class status and perpetuates an environment where injustice prevails. This is not a debate over contract terms. It is a matter of justice, equity, and the future of our community. As board members, you must recognize that your choices not only harm our educators, but also betray the promise of accountability entrusted to you. I urge you to restore integrity to this process. Honor the collective bargaining agreement in both letter and spirit, and put an end to these obstructive tactics. Our teachers, our students, and our community demand nothing less than decisive and just leadership. I also want to say my part on our security. They deserve better. It's a shame for how they've been treated and what they've been offered. I'm proud of them as a former police officer, and at Truman College, it's like the cliche, they're everywhere.
You have 30 seconds.
I feel protected. Our students feel protected. They deserve more, and our teachers deserve more. Thank you.
Grazina Meldutite.
I'm used to that. They always butcher my name. Good afternoon, esteemed members of the Board of Trustees. My name is Grazina Meldutite. I'm an adult educator at Olive Harvey College and a chief steward for AFSCME Local 3506. Today, I come before you to address a pressing issue: the misapplication of our collective bargaining agreement, the very contract between this board and our union of adult educators and coordinators, which is critical to the well-being of our teachers and the students they serve, and ultimately the quality of education they receive. It is no secret that the grievance procedure designed to remedy violations of our CBA has been reduced to a series of bureaucratic games and posturing. Once a tool for prompt and fair resolution at the college level, it's now manipulated at the district level, delaying justice and undermining our educators' rights. This is not simply an administrative shortfall. It's a failure of leadership that falls squarely on this board. Furthermore, the obstruction of negotiations for a new contract through similar maneuvers reflects the direction set by this board. When a contract crafted to secure the dignity, support, and proper working conditions for our educators is stalled by games and delays, it signals a disregard for our commitments. The CBA is meant to provide stability and fairness. Its misapplication reveals a troubling neglect of our responsibilities and a dire need for fair negotiations. Please recognize that these issues are not isolated administrative errors, but are indicative of a broader leadership failure. Our educators, who are on the front lines supporting our most vulnerable students, deserve an environment where the concerns are taken seriously and addressed promptly. The continued blockage of a fair contract negotiation does not serve our teachers, our students, or our community. Please hold the administration accountable and uphold the integrity of our CBA. Let us work together to move past these delays and ensure that our collective bargaining agreement is honored in letter and spirit. Thank you for your time and commitment to improving our educational community.
Luis Jimenez. Luis Jimenez.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Luis Alberto Jimenez Fuentes Carrion Rivera del Valle. I am part of the largest change in demographics in the city of Chicago, okay, and mostly in the country as well. I was in the Marine Corps. I have been a retired Chicago police officer of 30 years. I've been trained in anything the Chicago Police Department can train, including going to New Mexico for bomb training, which actually came into effect this year during the DNC when the star of, I'm a lead officer at Malcolm X College, so The star, to me, Malcolm X College is one of the shining stars of our city colleges. And with Dr. Sanders, we enrolled a numerous amount of new students. And I see that the City of Chicago has also posted on the website of their pride and joy of a record number of registrants of students. But unfortunately, for security, based on our negotiations, we're not included in that per se, because a word that's used a lot here is inclusivity, but we're not part of it when all of our proposals were denied. And a raise the equivalent of 50 cents. Of 50 cents. We have millions of dollars of physical assets in the city colleges. More importantly, there is no number to put on human assets in teachers, students. There is no number for that. So we're entrusted in their security. So all we're asking is to be able to join in your joy and pride that I heard here earlier, and it is written all over the website for city colleges, how proud we are. We want to be proud with you as well. So we just want to be included in that pride and joy. That's all we're asking for. That's all we're asking for. So I want to thank you again. You guys have the power here to make your negotiation team bargain with us in good faith. So I hope that you're able to communicate to them that we are part of your team. Dr. Sanders and I every day see each other, hug each other, and we're proud of our accomplishments, but he knows and I know that we are a team together, and that should be at every college. I appreciate your time. Thank you. God bless.
Dan Roseman.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Dan Roseman. I'm a retired Chicago police officer. I did 36 years for the force. I started at Daly College in '08, and I work here at this door as student interest. We don't ask for a lot. All we want to do is compensate it for what knowledge that we have, protection that we provide. We are your first line of defense. I've seen officers leave the city colleges for other jobs. I have been offered a job for a lot more money than I'm getting paid right now. But it's not what I want. I like this college. I like the people. All we want is a fair contract. It's a win-win situation for us and for the city. It encourages other people to come to our facilities and work here and not leave. So let's hope for a better contract and a fair contract. I want to thank you for your time, sir, and ladies and gentlemen.
Travis Marks. Travis Marks. One last time, Travis Marks. Are you Travis Marks? Okay, can you come? Okay, thank you. Chair, that concludes the public participants.
As stated earlier, due to FC4 President's work schedule, they will not be attending the meeting today. However, their report will be entered into the record. Vice Chair Hatch, please proceed with the committee report.
Thank you, Chair. During today's committee meeting, Provost Mark Carter delivered 2 presentations. The first addressed special needs positions in the healthcare sector, highlighting the challenges of filling full-time roles and the impact of unfilled positions. He discussed the possibility of changing the residency requirements to qualified applicants who reside outside the city of Chicago to help meet these critical faculty needs. The second presentation focused on tuition review proposal. The proposed tuition increase for the fiscal year 2026 would affect full-time enrolled students. The new rate would apply after July 1st, with discounts available for those who enroll is by June 29th, 2025. We also reviewed the minutes, resolutions, personnel report, resource development report, agreements, and legal notices included on today's academic affairs and student services agenda as part of the consent agenda to this February 6, 2025 regular board meeting. Chair Nukas, this concludes my report.
Thank you, Vice Chair Hatch. We will now consider the items on the February 6, 2025 consent agenda. This month, all items for board action are on the consent agenda, which is printed on the paper that can be picked up outside this room. I would note again for the record that these items were discussed in detail in the committee meeting proceedings this board meeting, as noted by Vice Chair Hatch during his committee report. Does any trustee have questions or comments on any of the items listed on the consent agenda or wish for separate action on any of these items? May I have a motion to approve the minutes, resolutions, personnel report, research development report, agreements, purchases, and legal invoices contained in the consent agenda and identified as part of the printed agenda on a single roll call vote?
Chair Nuquist?
Approved.
Vice Chair Hatch?
Approved.
Trustee Sanchez?
Approve.
Trustee Hightower?
Approve.
Trustee Ramirez?
Approved.
Thank you all. Let the record show that the minutes, resolutions, personnel report, research development report, agreements, purchases, and legal invoices included on the printed February 6, 2025 consent agenda all have been approved. Now, in accordance with the Illinois Open Meetings Act, the board may hold a closed session for the discussion of matters related to a number of specified topics. Today's closed session will be for the discussion of matters related to the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees or their representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees. Litigation, when an action against, affecting, or on behalf of the particular public body has been filed and is pending before a court or administrative tribunal, or when the public body finds that an action is probable or imminent, in which case the basis for the finding shall be recorded and entered into the minutes of the closed meeting. May I have a motion to go into a closed session?
Motion.
Second.
Thank you. Will the chief advisor please call the roll?
Chair Nuquist?
Approved.
Vice Chair Hatch?
Approved.
Trustee Hightower?
Approved.
Trustee Sanchez?
Approve.
Trustee Ramirez?
Approved.
Let the record show that the closed session motion has been approved. We'll be back. The February 6, 2025 regular board meeting is now reconvened. There was no action taken during closed session, which requires action in open session. There being no further business to come before the board, may I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
Motion carried. We are adjourned.